Hi everyone, in this video I'd like to talk about box and whisker plots. So in the example shown on the screen we can see that we've got lots of data and this box and whisker plot gives us information about that data. The far left hand endpoint here is at the value 15 and that's the minimum value of the data set. At the far right, that's the maximum value of the data set. So we already know the min and max value of the data. We have a couple of other points that are really important. Notice that there's a box, and at the left-hand side of the box, that's our first quartile. What that means is that 25% of the data lie below that point. Next, we have the midpoint, or the 50th percentile, so 50% of the data lie below that point. And then way over here on the right-hand side of that box, that's our third quartile point, and that means that 75% of the data live below that point. So let's use that information to answer the questions. We want to know the probability that the stock price is less than $23. So if we look in the plot, 23 is our first quartile point. In other words, 25% of the data lie below that. So probability that the stock is less than $23 would be 0.25. Next, we want to know that the probability that the stock is between 23 and 54. So between 23 and 54, we need to think about this. Below the 23, we've got 25% of the data. Below the 54, there's 75% of the data, and in between, that means that 50% of the data lie in between. Lastly, the probability that the stock price is $30 or more. So here we're looking at 30 and above. And again, this 30 is the 50% mark, or the middle point of the data. So that means that 50% of the data lies above that. 0.50. And that concludes that question.